Here are 10 horror movie facts about Night of the Living Dead that you may not know. If you're into horror movies, you've probably heard of Night of the Living Dead. This iconic film is revered as one of the most influential horror movies of all time, with a massive impact on the genre that is still felt to this day. From its groundbreaking story to its shocking ending, Night of the Living Dead has captured audiences for generations. This movie was released in 1968 and was directed by George A. Romero and is still considered one of the best horror movies of all time. In this video, we will be discussing 10 interesting facts about Night of the Living Dead that you might not have heard before, and you can check out my reaction to this horror movie as well on my channel. Number 10. Many of the zombies' costumes in Night of the Living Dead were homemade. The budget for this movie was very limited, so Romero and his crew had to rely on their own creativity to make the costumes. They used things like flour, chocolate syrup, and even peanut butter to create the right effect. And for the iconic blood scenes, red ink and chocolate syrup took the spotlight. A particularly memorable scene involving Karen Cooper's gruesome act features chocolate syrup generously borrowed from the crew's lunch. Number 9. Romero shot the movie in black and white to save money. He didn't have enough funds to make a color film, so he opted for black and white instead. It turned out to be an excellent choice as the black and white tones added to the overall feeling of fear and dread. This stylistic choice ended up being one of the film's defining characteristics and cemented its place in horror movie history. Number 8. Dwayne Jones played the role of Ben, the hero in the movie. It was one of the first times on the big screen that an African-American actor was featured in the leading role of a horror movie. This was considered a progressive choice at the time, and Night of the Living Dead was released in 1968 at the height of social upheaval in America. The country was in the throes of the civil rights movement, and the Vietnam War was still raging on. The movie's depiction of a mass uprising at the undead was seen by some as a commentary on these events. Number 7. Back in 1967, George A. Romero, John A. Russo, and Rudy Ricci had a wild idea to create a horror comedy about hot-riding alien teens titled The Mess. Budget constraints reshaped the concept into a bizarre story involving alien creatures and rotting corpses, setting the stage for what would become Night of the Living Dead. Number 6. The movie's budget was only $114,000, but it grossed over $30 million worldwide. The success of Night of the Living Dead can be attributed to the many groundbreaking themes and style. It opened up the horror genre to a new level of popularity, and it is still celebrated to this day. It's still one of the highest-grossing movies to enter public domain, with many homebrewed releases and remakes. Despite Night of the Living Dead's immense success, Romero only received $6,000 for co-writing, producing, and directing the movie. He would go on to make several more iconic horror films, including Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. Number 5. The movie's iconic music was composed entirely of stock music. The crew couldn't afford to hire a composer, so they used stock music from the record company that they licensed the songs from. For authenticity, Russo and Bill Heinzman volunteered to be set on fire during a zombie attack scene. The plan went smoothly, except for one accidental fire started by a crew member. Fortunately, they stepped in swiftly to extinguish the flames before serious harm occurred. Number 4. The zombies in Night of the Living Dead aren't called zombies. They are referred to as ghouls in the movie. This decision was made to set the undead creatures apart from previous zombie movies that came before it. Romero and Russo couldn't resist making appearances in their creation. Russo played a ghoul struck with a tire iron, while Romero fittingly appeared as a reporter in the Washington, D.C. sequences. Number 3. The final scene in the movie was not originally in the script. Romero added it later because he wanted to give the movie a more profound ending. Shows the hero, Ben, being shot and killed by a group of white men, reminding the audience that even in the face of a zombie apocalypse, this could be racially motivated. This was a wake-up call for horror movie audiences everywhere, and up until then, it was unheard of for a horror movie to kill off its hero, but Romero wanted to make a statement about the futility of violence. Number 2. The film was inducted in the National Film Registry in 1999. It is one of the few horror movies to ever receive this honor, solidifying its place in history as a cinematic masterpiece. Night of the Living Dead was originally released under the title Night of the Flesh Eaters. However, the renamed title we know today was mistakenly used without proper copyright clearance, and as a result, it became part of public domain, and Romero and his team never really saw a dime for the film's massive success. Due to an oversight in the credits, Night of the Living Dead unintentionally landed in public domain. Number 1. The movie inspired countless sequels, spin-offs, and parodies. The world of The Night of the Living Dead has grown beyond the original movie with multiple adaptations, remakes, and even a video game. The movie has left an indelible mark on pop culture, and its influence can still be felt today. In 1990, a remake featuring Tony Todd aimed to recapture the essence of the original. However, it fell short of achieving classic status. A 1998 revision of the 30th anniversary, adding new scenes, including an origin story for the cemetery ghoul, faced harsh criticism. Night of the Living Dead is a horror movie that has stood the test of time. It's been over 50 years since its release, and it still remains a critical and commercial success. From its low budget to its pioneering themes, Night of the Living Dead will always be remembered as a classic, and with these 10 facts, you'll have a better understanding of what made this movie so special and why it's still celebrated to this day. So let me know in the comments, have you seen it? Did you learn anything new from these facts? You can check out my reaction video to this movie as well, and let me know what your favorite part of Night of the Living Dead is. I have yet to see the sequels, so let me know if you want to see reaction videos to that. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.